Blog Talk Radio.
Read someplace from the Chinese or the Egyptians or somebody. It said these are the three worst things: to lie in bed and sleep not, to wait for one who comes not, to try to please and please not. They all fit me, don't they?
These days of my life, I survive, but I'm caving in the dead of the night. All the lies, waking up for him and the phone that's stuck in my side. He's gone and makes me wonder. Days into nights, into days again. He wanna know where I stay, where I've been. This love, he's so crazy, was fit to be, with a new sense of wonder. I don't know where you've been, where you go. I don't wanna know. I don't know where you've been, where you go. I don't wanna know. Say what you mean when you're talking to me. Don't you leave me out, baby. Don't you leave me out. Say what you mean when you're talking to me. Don't you leave me out, baby. Don't you leave me out. But now all the walls that we built are coming down. We cannot hide from a world so safe and sound. Love don't exist in here now. Silence makes me wonder. I don't know where you've been, where you go. I don't wanna know. I don't know where you've been, where you go. I don't wanna know. Say what you mean when you're talking to me. Don't you leave me out, baby. Don't you leave me out. Say what you mean when you're talking to me. Don't you leave me out, baby. Don't you leave me out. Say what you mean when you're talking to me. Don't you leave me out, baby. Don't you leave me out. Say what you mean when you're talking to me. Don't you leave me out, baby. Don't you leave me out. Say what you mean when you're talking to me. Don't you leave me out, baby. Don't you leave me out. Say what you mean when you're talking to me. Don't you leave me out, baby. Don't you leave me out.
Oh,
Oh,
oh my goodness,
yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
yes,
song is
yes.
definitely dope. Yeah.
So you
Welcome
have tuned
back.
in to another episode of On the Move Unscripted with me and my radio hubby, Mr. Stout. What's going on, Mr. Stout?
Hey, wifey. Everything is pretty good. Like we, we were working on trying to get some folks on the for the guests for the night, and we actually did get some, and which is pretty good. And then also, like new things are coming up this spring summer that we got going on, and we've been working very hard, and we can actually talk about a little bit right now. And what's for Van Miller, who we had on the show here with us. We did an interview with her on right here on Unscripted, and we also had on Renegade Radio as well. And now that we're knowing that the show is coming very close. It's going to be on Fox, right, for How Did I Become a Model, which will be a big deal.
I'm so excited. I've seen the billboards they got in Atlanta. I'm like, is it only, are the billboards only in Atlanta, or are they all over in different cities?
They also in South Carolina as well. They're in South Carolina. They come into North Carolina.
Okay.
They'll be in Atlanta. Yeah, and so that's going to be a big
pretty
deal.
Exciting.
It is, and can't wait for that. We're going to actually get a chance to meet up with Van Miller again. Well, you already met her, but this will be my first time meeting her. Coming up in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, for that right there, for the Snow Black, for the premiere of that as well. So that's going to be star-studded right there. So we're going to have a live broadcast.
I hope she got my wine. Wine, my Moscato.
Right, get that Moscato. Yeah. Have that on deck.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah, can't wait to try a little bit of that. Yeah, so you guys, it's going to be a lot of things going on. Yeah. How's this going with you?
Other than that, well, you still ain't told me how your week was, though. Like, how was your week,
my week is always hectic. It's always hectic. Like, I'm out here trying to get all these things going for us so we can definitely, like, have a great show. It's been like one of those kind of things where we dealt with a lot of folks that we're doing some things behind the scenes. I want to give a shout out to my man Cool TLC. I know you spoke to him as well. I hope you get better. We just spoke to him before you went on the air.
Top 40 Underground Radio.
Yeah,
that's
Underground
Top 40
Top 40.
Underground Radio, right?
Yeah. That show is just so dope. We're going to be syndicating them as well too. It's coming up on actually on Renegade Radio. For Skin Beast Radio Music Review, he'll be on that podcast. What's that?
He's out here in Ohio with me, right?
Yes, out there in Cleveland.
We're about to turn out in Ohio.
Ohio, that's right. We're going to be out there. You guys definitely stay tuned for that. We're going to be out looking for the new talent. We're looking for everybody, business people in business and companies who want to get their advertising and get their music or their brands out there in a big way. Yeah, we just hit us up, and you're gonna see what's going on out there. So it's coming very soon. Look out for that for the spring, summer too. So that's gonna be a big deal.
I know the one thing that I noticed, because I have the Atlanta Music Industry Group on Facebook, and it's growing like it's beautiful. And there's a lot of artists in Atlanta, but then I noticed that there are a lot of artists from other places too, a lot in the Midwest too, and even other countries. So definitely you and I are planning on really doing some things in the Midwest, as well as in Atlanta or whatever. So it's really exciting.
It really is. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. You asked me how my week was?
Yeah, I was going to say that again. Get back to that.
So my week was good. My week has been peaceful, in all honesty. I actually started back promoting my books and stuff, because after we had Stephanie Bridges on and she talked about the books and stuff, it really motivated me. And so I've actually started back promoting my books and my website. So for anyone who is a reader, you can go to my book page, which is www.patriciagoings.books.com. People always ask me if I'm related to Donald Goings. And no, but I wish I had his popularity.
Right. I get the Steve Stout
but
thing.
not them issues. You said what?
Steve Stout, get the Steve Stout, but we are related. That's the funny thing. People are like, you related to Steve Stout? Yeah.
Now, who is Steve Stout? I don't even know who that is.
Def Jam. Yeah, he's a big promoter marketing and big Def Jam, Jay-Z. Yeah, Steve Stout.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, you know how we're always talking to artists about, expanding yourself, and you don't have to always stay in one lane. Like, I didn't know who Tupac was until he started in the movie Juice, like I just did. When I seen that movie, I was like, that was a bad movie. They was like, he's an artist, for real. And so then I started following him. So I'm always talking to artists about not just being in one lane, but doing acting, doing different things. So, we have a special guest today, Angela E. Stevenson, who's actually a playwright out there in Atlanta.
Wow.
And she's actually my sister, too.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and so we're going to interview her. She has a new web series that she's going to be talking about, and that she's actually looking for actors for. So it'll be fun to talk to her about that.
That's gonna be dope. I see, like you got it running in the family right there, like that's what's up, man. See, yeah, that's my sister-in-law right there. You better come get some of that right there. You know, like that, that you doing films and you doing books and things like that. You guys are very talented. I can't wait to get a chance to talk to her.
I think it has to come from my mother's line. It has to come because I have nephews. My son, One Way Zay.
Right.
My daughter's in the modeling. I got nephews are in the music. I got it has to come from my mother's line. That's all I can say.
Right.
We
might. I think we might have was it Stephanie? Right? Was it?
Stephanie Bridges.
Was it? Stephanie, no, she's on the air right. I think
sister?
Your sister, yeah.
My sister's Angela E. Stevenson. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Angela, I'm sorry.
The 404.
Yeah, I think she's on the line with us right now. My bad. I'm like Stevenson.
I am on the line. Yes.
Hey, sis.
The one and only.
All right.
What's up?
Well, it's really good. I'm sorry. I said Stevenson. I'm like, I got that whole thing messed up right there. And my bad.
Yeah,
I should know better because
I'm sorry. My hubby can't get it right.
Right. Yeah. It was so many of us at the wedding right there. So it was like, oh, who are you? Like we all did. So good. So
Angela,
good.
To let you in on me and Mr. Stout, he is my radio husband, and we've been married now for how long? How long has it been now?
It looks like almost 6 weeks. It looks like 6 weeks now.
Oh, has it been 6 weeks?
Oh, I'm newlywed.
Yeah.
Okay, newlywed.
Yeah, that's right. We turned up. That's right. Hey, that's right. We ain't supposed to be on the radio right now. We're supposed to be newly wedding it up.
All right. Welcome to the family.
Yes, thank you.
Radio husband.
That's right. That's what it is. Yeah, we're gonna have a chance to get a chance to talk to you about that. Go ahead.
Yes,
yeah,
looking forward to it.
So we generally take a quick break and play a little bit of music, and then we come back with our guests or whatever. So I can't wait to talk to everyone about the new thing you got going on. It's deep too what you got going on. So I'm
nice.
Really interested in diving in, but we got to take our little music break. Isn't that right there?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's do that real quick. I want to rock this joint from my man. His name is Keithian. The track is called Birds. I just kind of like this song. I used to play it a while ago on my Renegade radio show, and I just kind of like it. It just kind of, I don't know, the meaning of it, I can let you guys know about it, but you listen to it and, enjoy. All right? Unscripted, right. On the move. Come get some.
On the move.
Quality of life is high when I'm f***ing you good. Possibilities start to fly when they climbing so rude. But when I'm back alive, I don't try cause I'm hella confused. Is the Hennessy the only reason why you understand my mood? See, I've been picking up the driftwood. Only so much I can take. If I'm a lie about me. If I'm a play, I'ma need a memory that you can't take it no more than what you're holding back for. If I'ma try, I don't need an excuse. There's something better to do. You can't teach me how to love you. There's nothing here to say. The birds again. You can't change me, I don't trust you. My heart's not here to take. The birds again. And I'm flying away. The birds again. Flying away. The birds again. Quality of sleep that I lose got me f***ing up my health. Playing with your mind gives me time in the karma of hell. And I can be the one who's the cause of you hurting anymore. So I'm packing up my shit. If you need me, don't bother, cause I can't take it no more. See, I've been picking up the driftwood. Only so much I can take. If I'ma lie, I'ma lie about me. If I'ma play, I'ma need a memory that you can't take it no more than what you're holding back for. If I'ma try, I don't need an excuse. There's something better to do. You can't teach me how to love you. There's nothing here to take. The birds took it. You can't change me, I don't trust you. My heart's not here to take. The birds took it. And I'm flying away. The birds took it, flying away. The birds took it.
I never knew it would end this way, but I know it won't be the
hyping me up, showing me love. Women was all in my face, and I guess that's the reason haters throwing salt in the game. Down, shutting the stage down. You cannot tell me that this is fake. See, I'm fly when I grind on solo. I'm taking time to refine what I do it for. I let my mind go and fly where it's beautiful. Now back to the paper, stacking right now for later. I'm not in line for favors, I'm getting mine from patience. Yeah, this for all of them times they hate it. And I just hope to see them smile when I make them. Thanking God that I was created. But still I feel sorry for the ones that was doubting me, for the ones that walked out on me. I feel sorry. I never knew it would end this way, but I know it won't be the same. Still I feel sorry. I feel sorry for who caused your misperception. Finally realizing it was only lessons that I had to learn. I ain't stressing, only counting blessings. But still I feel sorry. My time with patience, grinding daily, and praying I make it. But still I feel sorry for all the haters trying to take it, denying my greatness. No starter kit, I was born with it. Just wait till we get on tour with it. Wait till we all in the stores with it. What other rappers they forfeited? That's cool with me, to me more business. Show buzz, daughter want more, nigga. Keep me on the track, that's 4 figures. I throw it at you like Thor, nigga. Why my name in your mouth, boy? I bet that shit feel like a sword, nigga. Now choke on it. I'ma get rich for the broke homies. If you think I'ma quit, then you don't know me. Don't give a fuck about life, homie. Skin tone, hella bright, homie. And I bet the women gon' fight for me. But still I feel sorry for the ones that was doubting me, for the ones that walked out on me. I feel sorry. I never knew it would end this way, but I know it won't be the same. Still I feel sorry. I feel sorry for who caused your misperception. Finally realizing it was only lessons that I had to learn. I ain't stressing, only counting blessings. But still I feel sorry.
Oh yeah.
Feel sorry. I
Oh,
like
let me
that.
start getting my songs on right now. Get my voice in there. Let me sing for my baby.
So who was that? I especially like that first one. Who all was the music? Who was the music?
Well, that was the one that was just playing right there. Was I feel sorry? That was Playwright right there. He's coming out of Arizona, and he's out there in California doing some things as well, and also Keithian. Yeah, he's out there in L.A. with the song "Birds." Man, that song, I really like the song because it's like picking up the pieces type of track.
Like
you know, like when he explained it to me, you know, that was just like one of them things. Like, you know, I'm like, you know, it was pretty dope to me. And Ad Blaze, we just had on my other show out there on Renegade Radio. The song was There She Goes, you know, and he has another track that we have as well. And he does like the Afro beats. He's actually coming out of New Jersey, but he's via Nigeria. So when we're doing these shows, we told him we're going to play rockers music. I want to take a big shout out to Liki Lagos out there in Nigeria because they're checking us out. How about that? Like,
what's going on?
Oh, that's right, Africa.
Shout
Love it, man. Yeah.
All right.
On the move, unscripted.
On the move, unscripted. We on the move, baby. So I actually have interviewed my sister a few times because she's had a few awesome plays. Like, my sister is the bomb playwright. And I'm not just saying that just because that's my sister, right? You know, that's my big sister. I'm not just saying that because of that. Really, her plays are the bomb.
Right.
Thank you.
Do you remember in the movie This Can't Be Love, the little play scene? That was her play.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I watched that movie like 7 times, man. That's my joint right there.
Yeah, that was her. So, Angela E. Stevenson, please, because everybody doesn't know, we got a lot of new listeners and people who have never heard of you before, and they don't know anything about you. So I don't know where you want to start. If you don't know if you want to start in the womb, or if you want to roll on up to when you did your first play, wherever you want to start.
Yeah, we're going to find out all the juiciness tonight. So I ain't about you.
This level to this is so much that I could start with. I mean, so for the new listeners who don't know who Angela E. Stevenson is, I am Patricia's sister, first of all.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, this interview is going to be so good, everybody. So just
I am the oldest sister. And I'm a playwright. I'm an author. I have a book entitled Misery, Mess, and Miracles. So I also do a lot, as you've mentioned before, about a lot of plays. I'm in the middle of writing a script for a web and TV series titled In Between Blood and Family. I'm sure we'll talk about that probably later on. Okay. But a lot of things. I'm an actress as well. I like to act. So as Patricia mentioned earlier, I guess it's in our bloodstream, it's in our bloodline as far as entertainment. We all, a lot of us in the family are entertainers, love, music or writing or creative in some talent.
Art, creative art.
As well in the art, yes.
Yeah.
So, So that's a good thing about us. One good thing to know about us. But yeah, I'm single.
So I want to ask the question though. What was your first thing? Like, what is the first? I'm sorry. I wanted to know, like, what was the first thing that you started to work on when you had this? You found about your ability.
In high school, really, poetry. I used to write a lot of poetry, so that's where that was just how I expressed my feelings, things that I was going through at the time. Just in school one day supposed to be doing homework. We used to have what we call work study periods where you're in school, you doing homework, supposed to be doing homework or whatever. So, but I was just in study hall rather, and was writing another friend of mine, we were just writing poetry. And so we used to trade off. I think she still kept a lot of hers, but throughout the years, a lot of my stuff got lost. So I realized then that I had I didn't know really was a talent. I won't say that, but I enjoyed writing. I do know that. I enjoyed poetry. I enjoyed reading it, and I enjoyed writing it. And then later on for my church, I used to write some, little plays, little skits. And it just seemed kind of natural. I didn't think much about it still at the time. Just like, hey, we want to do a skit. We want to do something different. So, okay, I'm going to write this play. I'm going to write this skit. And then it's kind of just things kind of stand out. I got married and had children, so I really wasn't doing much of anything. Singing, I used to sing in the choir, doing solos and going to different things and stuff, so I did do that. So, again, Patricia and I have that talent. She just uses hers a little more than I do. I don't sing anymore. But so that was, I used to do that. But then later on, after I went through my divorce and just so many things took place, I decided that I wanted to write a book. I did some acting, some extras here and there. But I was like, I'm going to write a book. Yeah. I think my story is unique, my life story. I think everyone has a story. I always say that. Everyone has a story. But I decided I was going to do that and was inspired. Patricia's one of the people who inspired me to write. I had several people who had kind of inspired me. Sometimes you have it in your head, you want to do it. But Patricia could spit out books like with the blink of an eye. She is a writer. That's Patricia's craft. She's a writer. I don't think that I am a writer in that essence. Now, writing scripts and for plays and stuff, yes. For books, Patricia can spit them out like nothing. She's I'm writing a book, and it's like, oh, okay, when's it going to be done? Oh, I'm halfway finished.
Right, yeah, she's going through them.
Yeah. But my book really was the first thing that I just put my all into it, and then from there, I'm just like, when people started reading it, they was like, oh, this should be a movie. Then I was like, well, I don't really know much about writing movies, but hey, I do know how to write a script for a play, so I decided to do that, and then that just took off. So I began writing myself, then writing for some others, so I still do that, and so I was like, okay. And every time I think I'm going to put it down and just like, I'm going to not write anymore. Something else inspires me, or someone else be like, "Oh no, you got to do this," So I guess I'll keep doing it for a while.
That bug, you got it. Patricia, you want to say something else too?
She has a son that's also an artist, Killer Fly. So like I said, it's all in our bloodline. So the first play that you did was from the first book, right?
Yes, I turned the book into a play entitled Misery, Mess, and Miracles as well. So that was my very, very first play here in Atlanta at 14th Street Playhouse, which was phenomenal. My second show was sold out, so I was like so happy because that normally doesn't happen.
Theater's been sold out that I could tell. Every time I went to a play, it was. I ain't never know nobody who can pack a house in another city. She wouldn't even. She did one in. Was it Dalton? Was it Dalton?
Yeah, I went to Dalton. It wasn't. Well, we did Austell. I think that was the one you came to, Rivers Epic Center in Austell. That's where you did part of the film at. You did some filming there at that play there. Yeah.
Wow.
But the one in Dalton was
I've been kind of blessed and fortunate that to do really well with marketing for with my plays. I don't know. I really can't I don't know. I just have to attribute that to God because really in the play world it's a hard industry to break into.
Yeah.
It's a male-dominated industry. But then just even with plays, being able to get it to the stage is a whole process itself. So just to get it to the stage is an accomplishment. But then you got to fill the house. You got to get people there, and see, because it doesn't matter how good your script is. If you can't market it and get people there, then that's a whole nother problem, So
Right.
I've been fortunate to have a brand where I feel for when I write is that there always has to be some type of wow factor. I believe in working in excellence. If I don't feel like it's excellent, then I'm not on the stage. If I don't think we're ready, I'm not going to produce half step because that, for me, messes up my name and my brand. So
that's the question I wanted to ask you about that. Yeah.
Yes. What's the question?
The question, about what is it? How do you come up with the production, or what entails, for to put together a play?
So for me, let me start here. In the play world, I guess, and I'm sure you've seen many plays and been to many productions, a lot of them, for me, seem like they have become, it's either going to be about one or two things: abuse, someone's been abused, or break up a relationship. Someone's heart got broken in a relationship. So how many times you can rewrite that 1,000 different ways, but the outcome is really going to still be the same. So for me, I'm just like, what else can we write about that people will come to see? And then you can just look around your own life and like, hey, somebody's dealing with this. It might be a relationship where a mother can't get a father to pay child support, or a child is dealing with the absence of a parent, whether it's the mother or the father. I did one play, Can You Love Me Now, dealt with homosexuality in the church. It's a reality.
That freaking play.
But they don't want to talk about it. So I just thought about how to put this out here in a creative way, in a humorous way, but it also has a message. So that I always kind of think about the things that are going on.
Like the production,
in the world.
For the production too. Like the production, like how do you get everybody together to be on one accord? Like I seen Tyler Perry plays, and I'm like watching how intricate, how the way things are working with that. How do you go, getting everything together, for the production of that to produce a play?
So once the script is written, I'm thinking of venue, like where I want to have it at. So once those two things are out of the way, the script and the venue are the two biggest things for me. But then there's casting. So I have a lot of repeat castmates, so that want to be a part of my production. I try to change faces, based on the characters. So we do our auditions because I'm always looking for new talent. But then I get them to buy into the vision. That's the thing. A lot of people want to do this to get in there, but I'm always looking for people who are passionate, and I need for you to buy into the vision, the message that's in this script. Like, what are we trying to convey to the audience? And if they grasp that, they're going to do well on the stage, because now they can pour their emotions into it. But after we cast, I guess the hardest thing then is keeping them engaged, because people have lives, we got rehearsals, and I'm a really kind of hard director, because I'm a perfectionist when it comes down to the craft. So I'm kind of hard, but I do it in love. So my people stick with me pretty much. I haven't really lost anyone. As far as, and when I say that, everyone can't be in all of my plays, because a lot of them have went on to do greater things. I have one gentleman, I wish I could put a patent on him, but he's doing a lot of things, movies and different TV shows now.
Who?
I have.
Who is it?
His name is Jair Jackson. Yeah, Jair. He played. He was in Can You Love Me Now? He played the guy that had AIDS in the show. But God delivered him. Remember him? He was real comical with his thing, but he was in the play. The grandmother, she has done a lot of things with like Q Parker and things on a national level. So I have Donald himself has already produced on a national level. He has stuff on BET. So I've been blessed to have some really great cast members in my play.
Donald is the one who you took me to his play when I was down there, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And he worked with you a lot
from the beginning, from day one. Very talented guy. He's been with me from day one. But yeah, it's keeping them engaged. But it's a lot of work behind the scenes. It's a lot of work.
Do you think it was more challenging? Do you think it was more challenging to write the book, or to turn the book into a play? Like, which one do you think it was more difficult to do? Because, when you have a book, you have a lot of, you can't put everything in that play. So which one do you think was the easiest for you to write?
It was easier to write the script for the play.
Okay.
Because I was basing it off a lot of things that were in the book. Oh, is that y'all cutting me off?
Is that us?
I hear.
Makeup on, high heels on, blue dress on, diamonds done, fur coat on, lipstick on. I put these on so you can take them off. Took me some time to get it ready. Don't make me wait, come break me down. I know you left from the love school, baby. Don't make me wait, come take me. I don't wanna get freaky with you. That's the only thing I wanna do. I said my pen, just come on through. You know how to touch me, baby. You got that fire, I can see it in your eyes. Please do not be shy. This is not the time or place. You can climb the tree, come play in the leaves. Take me down, yelling timber now till we hit the ground.
Hello?
I don't know what just happened. This is Blog Talk Radio for you. I am not lying.
I'm like, okay, they didn't leave us into the music.
No, I know, right? Just like, there you go. There's some music for you. So, back to what you were saying. Angela?
I forgot where I was. Oh, you asked me, the question was, which one was easier for me to write? The book was easier for me to write. I mean, not the book, but the script was easiest because, of course, I already had the book in place, and I was pulling things out of the book to put into the play. For me, the book was the hardest to write because even though it was a book and I could just go on and on, you don't want people to get lost in the chapter somewhere and be like, okay, how long is this going to go on? So I had to figure out what all I wanted to put in there, how I was going to end the story. And then, of course, there was some delicate things in there that I was dealing with, even though the book is fiction. I was pouring a lot of myself in there, so I was getting stuck in some places like, do I really want to talk about this in this book, or do I want to move on to something else? So that was the hardest part of it.
You know what? For both of us, we both had stories, and so I can understand what you're saying as far as being able to put that down on paper, and then, knowing that when we wrote it down on paper, there were some people that was going to not be happy about what we wrote. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know how how your family, how your family dealt with it, or your cousins and stuff like that, or whatever. But I know on my end, my father's family, they weren't all that happy about it. But I had to let them know this is something I have to tell, because there are children who are still being abused. There are women who are still being, abused or whatever. So this was this was my form of therapy. Was it the same for you?
Right. It was the same for me. For some people backed it, understood. Some people didn't. But there was a few people who I just had to say, hey, it's nothing personal against my family, because I love my family and they know that. But like you said, it was a healing process for me. It was part of a healing process, part of my healing process, and of just letting it go, and so I can totally forgive those that were involved and move on. So I had to get that out. And then, again, like you said, there are so many people who have dealt with or are dealing with either some type of abuse, whether it's physical, sexual, verbal, whatever type of abuse it may be. A lot of people are dealing with it. And it takes people like you and I to write about it or speak on it and share and let people know that you're not in it alone and that you can get out, you can survive it. And there are things you can do to, to protect yourself and get out of those situations.
So we're sisters, and of course, Angela and I are sisters, but we did not grow up together. And so I think when you, and we're going to get into your web series, because I know it kind of deals with a little bit of that. But my sister, my other sister and I found my sister, how long has it been? Like 16 years ago? How long has it been?
About 15. It's been about 15, 16 years ago
15
now.
years.
Yeah.
Right. So my sister was adopted and taken from my mother. She really didn't even have a choice in the matter, back then. And so, but my mom always told us that we had a bigger sister. We had an older sister. So me and my other sister was determined once we got to a certain age that we was going to find her. And I had moved to Atlanta, I want to say it was 1999. Didn't even know that my sister was living there. Had no idea. I just always had this desire to move to Atlanta. So I moved to Atlanta. I'm there for like a year. Don't know anything about her. Ended up coming back home to Ohio. And once I was in Ohio, me and my sister started looking for her and kind of find out she had moved there she had moved to Atlanta a year prior. So I ended up moving back to Atlanta because I wanted to build a relationship with her. And that began our journey.
Right.
That's awesome. Can you guys hear me? I apologize.
Yes.
Okay, I apologize for running the
You just threw some music.
I was having a Howard Stern moment. I know. I was having a Howard Stern moment over here. You guys would not believe. I'm like, no.
It's unscripted, y'all. Man. They understand.
Yes, it is.
Unscripted.
So,
Angela, when you were writing this story, how did your adopted family handle it? Did you tell them first that you were going to write it, or did you write it and then tell them? How did your adopted family handle it?
I just started writing. So nobody really knew that I was going to write the story until I was writing it or complete with it. Pretty much almost finished with it, because then I started marketing the book on social media and stuff prior to. So some of my family members are on there, following me on social media. So they kind of knew I was writing the story, but didn't know what all was going to be in the book. And I kind of wanted it to be that way because I did not want to hear. I was kind of fearful of any negative feedback that I may have received, like, no, you shouldn't put that in there, or no, don't talk about this or whatever. Once the book was out, it was a done deal. And again, I didn't write it to hurt anybody. I wrote it because it was, even though I made the book fiction, because again, I wanted to protect those that were involved, because at this time when I'm writing, I had already forgiven those involved and moved on. But so I did protect, change names, dates, and times and things of that nature. So the story is written in a fictional format, but it has a lot of truth in it, So, so once the book was out, some family members read it. Some were like, oh, wow, I didn't know. Then others was like, I can't believe you said that. You told this. But, eventually they got over it because they realized that I was not trying to attack them. And the thing is with people, with families, is that, back in the day when you were younger, you were always told, or at least in my household, you were told what goes on in this household stays in this household, so you don't tell things, or things are happening, they would just sweep it under the rug, You didn't talk about they didn't talk about a lot of things. So, again, because of who my family was, to come out with this story, it could have took a left turn. It could have been detrimental. And so, of course, people don't want their name to be tainted. Be like, oh, no, type thing, or what are people going to think about me? So I get all of that, because I thought about that, too, when I was writing, like, what are people going to think, because I don't want to hurt anybody, but I needed to get that out. And after I did, it helped so many people. So now they really don't, it's not an issue anymore. The book is out there.
Right.
I don't really promote it as much as I should now, but of course I did the play, which was a success, and I moved on, because now it's you just don't keep beating a dead horse. It's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
But since we released our stories, it's like a lot of women. I'm gonna say women because men haven't really gotten to that point yet. But a lot of women have come out and start talking about the things that happened to them. You know what I'm saying? Since we came out, because I came out with my book back in 2006. So in 2006, there wasn't a whole lot of books out talking about that. They were sporadic. But since then, a lot of women have come forth and said, this happened to me, by a neighbor or by, a family member or a friend of the family. This happened to me,
somebody. And it makes you wonder, it makes you wonder, like, wow, was that, because, when it's happening, you be like, okay, nobody's going through this with me. But more people are coming out and be like, was this the norm? Was this the norm? And that's why people didn't talk about it. I don't know. But, yeah, a lot of people, celebrities, well-known people have dealt with abuse. It affects everybody, whether it's physical, verbal, sexual, what have you. And men, have dealt with the same thing, sexual abuse. And you hear now more and more men are coming out talking about it, but it's still kind of taboo for men. Women, is more common. But for men, they still, especially on the physical side of things, where men are being abused physically by females, because they don't want to talk about that because it takes away from their masculinity. They feel like it does. It doesn't, but it makes them feel that way because, like, well, you letting a woman beat up on you or whatever. But and it's not like, they want her to do that, but a lot of men have been taught you don't hit a woman. So this is a person that you love, and you hope that it stops, and you try to understand, because you got with them for a reason. You didn't get with them because they were going to be abusive. You got with them because they were this loving, caring person that you saw initially, and then when you get in, you realize, oh, there's another side. So now I'm in, and it's not so easy for me to walk away, but now they're abusive, So how do I deal with that without exposing, without making me look weak, rather, as a man? So, yeah, a lot of men are being abused, and they're just not doing anything.
We definitely had a lot of conversations about that, throughout the few episodes, a few shows that we've had, on the air. And I think when we had E. Chris on here, he was actually speaking about that he was a counselor, about that, actually helping out, the male side on that. And it's out there. And for it to be not in the forefront is due to the fact that it's more prominent when it happening towards women. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yes, it's an issue, when it happened with men, but it's just so much, more when it's happening to women. So it's got to be and it's coming from men, so it's got to be, it has to be done, within, because it's men know they're doing it, and women are not doing it as something that's going to be like as a normal thing when it's happening, to women. So, with a lot of movements out there, like the Me Too movement and things like that that's going on, and what's happening in our society, because a lot of these guys are going to jail. Like they just locked up a few men that was high prominent people who who going to prison for those type of crimes. You know what I mean? So this is letting the men know, like, hey, you keep this up, and this is going to be you. You know what I mean? In that kind of capacity. So I'm glad this being addressed a lot more. So then that then it'll be the men who are going to come out and speak about those same terms. So then that they can make some sort of legislation for this. Like, it's against the law, but now, like, hey, do something that's going to be like,
Right.
And Angela, you talked about being an actress. You actually played in an episode of Fatal Attraction. Remember that?
I did play in Fatal Attraction. That was really fun.
Yeah, you played the mother.
I played the mother of the victim that was murdered by her boyfriend. Yeah. And a Fatal Attraction is like, I don't know why, but it's one of my favorite shows to watch. I guess because I have been in abusive situations before, and I'm thankful every day. Well, even every day I'm thankful. But then when I watch these shows and I see people who don't make it out of these abusive relationships, it makes me even more thankful, because I was in an abusive relationship. It's only by the grace of God that I'm still here. I mean, seriously, that I'm still here. So, Fatal Attraction is one of those shows that I like to watch. But I was fortunate to be able to be in.
One of the episodes. That's crazy. Yeah, I watched those shows. Yeah, those shows. That to me, that's like it has like a lot of elements to it. Like it has like the storylines, or they can bring you in. Because it's somebody. It comes from a real place. These are real stories.
Right.
It's just being reenacted. You know what I mean? But then it's like, man, that happened. And it's like these kind of things that we may read in a newspaper, or they may do like a small thing on the news. But when you're seeing it, when you're seeing it on a television show, you like it brings you in, so you can understand it in depth.
But check this out. I don't know if you even know this. I think I told you this. The girl who played my daughter in Fatal Attraction was killed a couple of years ago by her boyfriend.
Oh, wow. Gosh. Are you serious?
Yes.
That's too much.
No kidding. Yeah. It's like, that's crazy, because she was trying to get out of the relationship. I don't think to this day they found out. Well, let me take that back. She was killed, and it is, what's the word that they use, the legal word?
Alleged.
It's alleged that her boyfriend did it. Because she was trying to get out of that relationship. She had posted a video days before. She had just left them, and then there was documentation where she had called the police, where he had kidnapped her and took her off, and she jumped out of the car to get away from him.
Wait a minute, is that the Atlanta model?
Yeah, yeah, it happened in Atlanta.
Wait a minute, that's the lady that was. It happened like on her birth, like she was coming out of a salon or something.
Oh, that's it. That's it, right? Oh my God, that was a national story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that was her. That was her? I did not know that.
Yeah.
I forget her name.
Yeah.
And I remember that video. I remember, and everybody, because it went viral. The video went viral before she got killed.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that was.
goodness.
Oh man. Yeah. I remember that story.
I do remember that right there. I remember you said about the salon thing, and she. Yeah, man. I gotta look that up, and so we can get that information to the listeners and stuff like that, so they can refresh their memory too. But that was tragic.
Yeah, I remember seeing that episode of the
like, I didn't know how ironic that would happen that way. But
she was about to be in. She was about to really go far in her acting career. Like, I think she was supposed to be in one of the popular movies that had came out. Like, she was on her way.
Yeah, she was on her way.
Black Panther.
some other stuff with someone I know, Mike Ben's show. No, yeah, she was on the uprise in the acting world. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she was.
We're gonna look that up for sure. But yeah, I mean that story, to be a part of it, that's like, you were enthralled of how the way that had happened, and how serious it is to play a part, even if it's of a reenactment, but the story was real. Right. This was real life that had happened, and like these are the things that we definitely have to address, so then that we can, we really have to address it, so then that these things can be focused, so then that this can come to a halt. It has to be completely so that it's starting to it will slow down if our governance and would do the right thing for that. But then also to have the training for men to know how to deal with those kind of things that are going on in their heads with this kind of stuff, man. Because it's just like
and then
that's not love.
Women,
that's not love,
That's not, and then not only that, but the women need to really understand how serious the situation is and go to like these domestic violence shelters, get up out of there and not stay in that environment or stay with them trying to work it out and this and the other. But know that they can go to a domestic violence shelter and get away and he can't find you. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Yeah. Like, I'm wondering if during the time that she was filming that, if she was with him then.
I think a lot of times people know that. But I think because they are still connected mentally, it's like if you're with someone and you love them, you can tell them all the time you want to be with that person because they're not good for you. And they can say, and they'll say, I know, I know, but you don't understand or whatever. Because they still got that glimmer of hope that he's going to change, because whatever it was that drew them to him, or vice versa, whether it was on the male side or whatever, you're still hoping that they will change, or that I can love them enough. That used to be my mentality. If I love them a little bit more, then they'll understand that, they'll change, or they'll understand that someone really loves them and they don't have to be this way, that I love them. But no, they got to want it for themselves. But when they get sick and tired and you get to a standpoint, and I guess for me, what my breaking point was, I had just had my oldest son, and I was going back and forth with my oldest son's father. But my breaking point was my baby was still in the hospital because he was preemie. But I had been out of the hospital 2 weeks, and this joker dragged me down some steps over a fence. I thought I was going to die, literally.
Oh, my God.
And my parents happened to be at the house that day, but my dad was out in the driveway. I'll never forget this. And my dad was out in the driveway, and my mom was in the living room. So we lived in the studio, and she couldn't get to me because it happened so quick. She was sitting there, but by the time she realized what was going on, he had done drugged me out the side door, out the kitchen door, over this fence, and down these steps. And I really thought I was going to die because he had a knife to my back and said, "You scream, I'm going to stab you." And because I was scared of him, I didn't scream. But thank God, again, I ended up eventually getting out of that situation. But that was my breaking point. It was like, I am not getting ready to die and lose my life for these jokers. So people got to get to a point where they're like, enough is enough, So now I'm going to seek help,
Yes,
but we
right.
say,
I'm glad you guys are talking about it. So, like, that's real. Yeah, it's got to be spoken about, and these things. Yeah, it's got to come from somewhere, and we and anything from the internet, and you put it out there in the field, like like giving people like flyers and stuff like that. Like, it's got to be out there and announced in a heavy way, like we do for any other thing that's a cause. This should be one of those where they're having a cause for domestic violence, and like they would do for any other merit, like what they call a telethon. This should be that, so people can speak about it and talk about this, and like, okay, well, this is that month of that. You know what I mean? Like, this is domestic violence month that we have to talk and address this. So then that we can say, okay, well, look, so support the people that need this help. So people are too afraid to even talk about it, So we have to have a platform for that, and for you to even come out, about what had happened to you in that horrific way. I commend you, because I know it's not easy to do that, and I hope things have gotten better for you and for you and your family, and things are opening up. Yeah. we definitely we want to talk to you some more because I mean these things, we got a lot more to talk about right here on Unscripted. That's what we give you right here, right, Dave? Like we got this like you got me like whoa.
That's right.
We got Angela E. Stevenson right here. What is this doing that thing? You want to get to a song, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna play a little bit of music. We'll take a little quick break, play some music, and come back because I want to get into this web series that you got going on, and the actors and stuff that you're looking for. So yeah, we're gonna take a quick break on the Move Unscripted, and we'll be right back. Whatever my husband.
Peter Piper picked apart them bars. Peter Piper picked apart Dion. Peter Piper picked apart them bars. Peter Piper picked apart Yeah. Peter Piper picked apart a playing Uzi verse. This jumps the ship just to hop on Lil Yachty's verse. Makes me wanna curse the worst, but I hate to be censored. That auto changed his tune like I put effect on that insert. Welcome to my room, you gotta shake something to enter. And I'm high but hold it down like my position was a center. So I censored all you rappers, gave that okay to my hitters. Busting up on all you with some tits, that's why you bitter. Peter Piper picked apart them bars. Hold it. Peter Piper picked apart them bars. Peter Piper picked apart them bars. Hey, Peter Piper picked apart the bars. Said that it was weak. Peter Piper picked apart them bars. 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 Yeah. Peter Piper picked apart them. Peter Piper picked up. Peter Piper, diamonds, water, scuba diver. Say you get it, you a liar. Birdie singer like Mariah. A mini trigger, what I carry. Thinking that Peter ain't very scared. In love with the money, so I had to marry. I keep it for shooters with me chasing tear. In the trap with Peter, and we serving Parker. Come and see me. Drugs like a doctor. Every block I team. Yeah, bitch, I'm a shot. Walking that bit with the choppers, I looked at it. Like, is there a problem? Got good dough like Harlem, we cup on the bottle. The dope in the bag and it's red like condoms. I got many flavors, baskets and robbers. I throw a pack at the player and robbers. And it be poppin' like Peter. I spend a rack on my sneakers. I keep my jewelry all up in the freezer. Photo deuce in the 2 liter. Peter Piper picked apart them bars. Hold it. Peter Piper picked apart them bars. Peter Piper picked apart them bars. Hey, Peter Piper picked apart the bars. Said that it was weak. Peter Piper picked apart them bars. 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 Yeah. Peter Piper picked up. Peter Piper picked apart them bars. Peter came out on the scene, piping harder than the stars. Oh my God. Yeah. Peter Piper picked apart them bars. Peter came out on the scene, piping harder than the stars. Oh my God. Something keeps calling me. I feel the burden on me. Something keeps calling me. This is so heavy for me. You might say I can never love again. You might be
blue dress on, diamonds done, fur coat on, lipstick on. I put these on so you can take them off. Took me some time to get it ready. Don't make me wait, come break me down. I know you left for my love, boo, baby. Don't make me wait, come take me. I don't wanna get freaky with you. That's the only thing I want to do. I said my pin, just come on through. You know how to touch me, baby. You got that fire, I can see it in your eyes. Please do not be shy. This is not the time or the place. You can climb the tree, come play in the leaves. Take me down, yelling timber now till we hit the ground. Makeup done, high heels on, blue dress on, diamonds done, fur coat on, lipstick on. I put these on so you can take them off. Took me some time to get it ready. Don't make me wait, come break me down. I know you left for my love, boo, baby. Don't make me wait, come take me. Calling, calling, calling. Calling, calling, calling for you, baby. Come and take me down, come and take me down. Come and take me down. Calling, calling, calling. Calling, calling, calling for you, baby. Come and take me down, come and take me down. Come and take me down. Took me some time to get it ready. Don't make me wait, come break me down. I know you left for my love, boo, baby. Don't make me wait, come take me.
No, this one's got to keep one read the rest of it and go right. What do you want to play them?
I like
That one in the back, pull it up.
I love that. I love that. Somebody, can you mute? I don't know if somebody can mute their background. Angela?
Yeah.
On move unscripted. We're unscripted, y'all. I like that song. That was Lipstick, Kenny?
Yeah, that was a nice song.
He must have walked away. So anyway, back to you, Miss Angela E. Stevenson, the playwright.
My bad,
you know
my bad. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I have to give much love to
Y'all
you
over there
because
multitasking.
it's unscripted. Understand it's unscripted. That's why we put unscripted, because we know we'll have unscripted moments. I have to give it up to you because I look up to you. I love what you do. You know, even though we're both in writing and I do film, but it's a lot to do a play. It's a lot to bring all that together and to get people to believe enough in your gift and your creative idea and your vision that they're willing to pay to come to see you do what you do. Like, I look up to you. I commend you. That's why every time you got something going on or whatever, I'm always going to give my big sister love. Always. So
I appreciate that
always.
so much. Yeah.
Always.
That's what we're supposed to do.
I love you. That's
yeah.
right. So I want to get into this web series that you
Yeah.
This web series is about to be deep. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this web series.
Tell us about
Let's
that.
talk about this web series.
Well, the web series, of course, is titled In Between Blood and Family. So, as we've mentioned already, that I'm adopted, and I have have been with my adopted family since I was a kid. I mean, a baby, like 9 months, 10 months old, like a year old. I think it was a year old if I get it right. So that was all I knew. That was my life. Until, I mean, I knew that I was adopted. They never hid that from me. But I was in a home full of love. I had a good life. But at the same time, coming up, you know, I had some issues, of course, that happened throughout life. But coming up as a kid, you're like, well, who is my mother? Or who do I come from? You know, that was always in the back of my head as well. So I tried to find my family as well for a minute, but then I ran into roadblocks, and then I just kind of let it alone. And my thought was, if it's meant for us to meet up, then I believe that God will bring us together. And it happened many years later, like about 16 years ago, that happened. So thank goodness that Patricia and them were looking for me, and they were able to find me. And it's really, to even that story right there in itself is a miracle. Because my name had changed several times. Last name had changed. My whole name changed, really, to be honest. My whole name changed. Because what my birth name was, I changed my name during the adoption. I asked my parents, could I change my name? And if I had changed my first name, it probably would have never found me. But my dad would not allow me to change the first name, but my middle name and my last name changed. And then I got married. So add that onto there. I don't know how that adoption angel really found me without a Social Security number. She didn't have my Social Security number. I don't know how she found me, but she found me.
Oh, my goodness.
It was meant for you to be found. It was meant for you to be found.
Yeah.
So it has. So you hear about a lot of different stories of people who find their family, and you think, oh, happily ever after, everybody's kumidilada, all that kind of stuff. But really, what you don't know is after they find it, then there's this period of trying to get to know each other, trying to blend together, trying to understand, you know, whatever. So we have had a journey. It wasn't like peaches and cream, like. You know, it was a journey. It was a journey for her, for Angela. It was a journey for me, for my mother, for my sisters and stuff. It was a journey for her family, you know, or whatever, because they're just like, you know, it has been a journey.
Believe it or not, it's still a journey.
It's still a journey.
So what people don't understand is that, yeah, like you said, you'd be happy. I was happy. Like, oh, okay, I get to meet my birth mom and my family. Okay, I got other siblings, and I think probably as a kid we probably have it formulated in our head what we think they're going to be, maybe, or just how things are going to be. This is, like you said, it's going to be all lovey-dovey, and we're going to be this one big happy family. And then when it doesn't happen that way, there's a lot of emotion, and then there's, you know, I've built or had this family over here all my life. That's how I know they love me. I love them, and there's this bond there. There's this closeness. But then you meet your biological family, you automatically think there's going to automatically be a bond, and then it's not. You be like, oh, okay. I know they said that's my sister, or that's my mother, or that's my brother. But where is this bond at? So not really thinking that it's going to take time to build, or then they may have expectations of you, and then you're trying to figure them out because you're like, hey, I was raised different, so who they are, that's not really who I am, or who they are, they're like, that's not, you know, she's not who we are. You know, there's a lot of dynamics that play into that. So that's where I thought about, came up with the synopsis for In Between Blood and Family. The character in the series is Trinity Hollis. So she's adopted, of course, raised by a fluid family, and then she ends up meeting her biological family. And again, even though a lot of my truth is in here, it has some twists and turns. So it's really going to take you. It's going to be what I want to say. Not a page turner, but you're going to be waiting for the next episode of next week. Like, really, what's going to happen?
Right, like, yeah, cliffhanger. Like a cliffhanger, yeah.
Have comedy. but it's gonna have a lot of different messages in there because self-identity is one of the key messages. Because when you're adopted, you formulate to the family that raised you. Pretty much, that's my story. Pretty much, this is how I was raised. These are our morals. These are our standards. If I carry myself a certain way, I do these things. This is how I was raised. Then you may meet this other your other family, your other side of you, and then you're like, oh, okay. Now you're starting to learn why I act the way I act. You try to attribute it to you being raised, but you realize that no, that's in your bloodline. You're like, oh, okay. Now the pieces of the puzzle are coming together. That's why I got this attitude.
Like the traits of that. Yeah, like the traits and things like that. That like why that's amazing. Bro. That's an amazing story. Now, that's something like that. It should be visual for sure, because it has a good message.
It couldn't be a play, right? Too much to be a play. I was like, this has got to be a series. So I'm hoping that. Well, we're writing the pilot show now, hoping to start filming the trailer soon. So we'll be looking for some actors and actresses to be involved. Got to have some good people to pull this off. So I'm hoping to be able to start filming, by early summer. So I'm excited. I'm excited about it, and
I'm excited, but I feel like I'm excited. I'm excited, but I feel like I'm still probably like just the way my family probably felt when I put out my book about my childhood and my struggles or whatever. I'm excited about the series, but I think some piece of me is going to be like, because I know that's our reality. Like, really, like, what you're about to be talking about is truly me and my sister's reality and our struggle and my family and her family struggle and trying to figure out how to blend together, like her. We wanted her to not, why you don't do this? How come we can't do this and this? And her trying to protect her family who probably feeling like they ain't been around, we've been around. So it's just like, it's that pull, that tug of war type thing, and she's kind of stuck in the middle. And so I'm going to feel like there's probably going to be some parts of me that's going to be like, oh, Lord, because I know that whatever you're about to put out is about to be our reality.
Well, part of it is, but because of so part of it is reality, but mix in my creativity with that, so then the blow is not going to be as hard as you think it's going to be. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
again, because I'm dealing with two sides. I'm dealing with two sides here. I'm actually dealing with three sides. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to relay their side of the story, your side of the story, and then my side of the story. But then, of course, there's creativity mixed in there. But, I have encountered people who have been adopted, have some relatives that's been adopted as well. So a lot of times their stories, we understand each other because the stories correlate with each other. Like, yeah, I dealt with that. I understand where you're coming from. This was what happened with me. So I think
we got a caller on the line. I think we have a caller on the line.
We do?
Mr. Stout, we got a caller on the line?
Yeah, I think
hello.
Yes, we do. Yes. Yeah, I think we have
hello?
Yes,
you do.
Who's this mystery guest right here? I said, who's this mystery guest right here? Who's got on the line there?
Queen God is the King Advocate.
So
you caught me chewing. My bad.
Queen God is the King Advocate. She's actually going to be one of the co-hosts for the new show that we're doing starting on Thursday. We're doing an all-women's panel, and she's actually in Atlanta. So, Kim, she's going to be looking for actors and actresses for her web series. Angela, what are you looking for? What are you looking for, Angela? What are you looking for? Like, what are some of the roles that you're trying to fill? Like, what do you look for in your actors?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you. I can work with anybody, whether they are experienced or inexperienced actors or actresses. I have several different roles. So, of course, we need some males and females that can play male and mother and father role, like in the late 50s, early 60s. Now, if they're not that age themselves, and of course, makeup and costume will get them there. But if they're inexperienced, then I will be taking them through an actor's course, a class, so that they can, get some training techniques and the basics of acting. So when we get ready to film, they'll be ready. But basically what I look for, if they are not experienced, is a passion for the art. They have to have a passion for it that they want to learn. You got a passion, then I can mold you to what I want you to be. So I'm open to anyone who just has a passion for it. But yeah, different age ranges. I'll be putting out there. I'll make sure that I tag you when I start listing the characters, descriptions for the characters, because of course we're getting close to, we're accepting resumes, acting reels and acting resumes now. And I'm going to put it out there. I'm trying to connect with my old place where I used to have my auditions at, but I can't seem to connect with them, so I'm looking for a place to host auditions in Atlanta. So if anyone knows of any place, hit me up on Facebook, Angela E. Stevenson, or email me at aesproductions1@gmail.com. But that's also where you can send your acting reels as well as your acting resumes, and then someone will be reaching out to you once we solidify the date. Audition.
Kim, do you have a question that you'd like to ask Angela about plays or her web series or just, the creative arts?
Well, actually, yes. I don't have any, professional acting background, but I do have a writing background. And what I've recently been working on is putting together a play and or a movie, and I'm struggling with it, which is kind of funny as a writer, but having never written, that type of genre before. How do you, or what kind of advice would you give a writer who's just starting to write outside of their genre? What kind of advice would you give, when you're in that pause mode, that block mode? Because that's where I am right now, as far as writing the script, how to write the story. I can tell it, but telling it don't take that long. So how do you go about actually writing it out?
So if my advice that I give to some of my other mentees is that if you're going to tell the story, tell the story. Because sometimes people try to tell the story in an outline. No, because if I'm reading a book, or especially if you're writing in a story format, I need you to be as detailed as possible without it being boring. But be descriptive as much as possible. So tell the story. Don't, okay, Johnny went to the store, but why did Johnny go to the store? What did Johnny get at the store? That's just a brief synopsis of that. If it's outside of your regular genre, I would say do research. Find out what's trending and read. Find different authors that are writing in your genre and kind of study their formatting and how they write, because that would give you clues and give you ideas on how to write your story, especially if you're outside of your element. You can do it,
right?
Because I am doing it now. I've never written for a web series, but one thing also I would advise to do is to get a mentor. So I know a few people in the industry, and I reached out to one person who has done and is doing what I'm doing. So, hey, I need some advice. I need you to kind of coach me here. Here's what I have. This is my idea. Which way should I go with this? So find someone that can mentor you as well, and keep writing. Write down your thoughts and ideas. You're going to have to you'll write down stuff and then you'll read over it again. You'll be like, oh, no, I want to change that. And that's okay. That's kind of with just writing, period, because your thought, your creative juices are flowing, so they change and it gets to going. And then that's because I write in period. I'm not one like Patricia, I feel like, can sit down at the computer and just write. I have to write in periods when I feel like, that writing spirit is on me right now, so I need to write. So it's flowing. My creative juice is flowing. Now tomorrow, I may not be like, I don't feel like writing tonight. So I'm not doing any writing, and I'll be at a block. It won't flow. It's like if I try to force it. So I have to write when it's like, hey, it's there. I need to be writing this down right now.
Right. Now, I don't always start off at the computer like that. Like, I have to have the storyline already in my head, and what I do is I do an outline of the story. Like, I just write. Well, however I know I want this story to flow, I just write. I just get up a piece of paper and a pencil and just write. And then I start dissecting what I've written into chapters. And then I get to the computer and start filling it in and writing and stuff. But I don't start off just like, sit down at the computer and just write. No, I don't. I start off with an outline first. I have to have the idea of the story, how I want it to be, the kind of some things maybe I'm thinking I want to put in the middle, and how I want it to end. And then I start dissecting it, and I start cutting it off into chapters. And, when you cut the stuff off into chapters, each chapter has to be, you have to, is the building block for the next chapter or whatever. But I have to start off with an outline first. I don't just, I ain't that good.
That's well, when I say that, because you write it so fast, it's like, okay, once you got that outline done, when you set the computer, it doesn't take you long to get it done. Now, what's the young lady that's on the caller's name?
Is it Queen?
Kim. Kim. Queen.
Kim.
Queen.
Queen Goddess.
Queen Goddess. King Advocate.
Yeah, let's get that straight. That's right. Get that straight. I heard Queen.
Okay. So Queen, you will find that you can ask several different people that same question, like, how do you write, or and they're going to give you something different a lot of times. So Patricia's, I've heard people say that I have to have her outline. I develop my chapters first, and then I start writing. For me, and this is something that I do advise my mentees, is that know your ending before your beginning. Because if you just sit down and you don't know how it's going to end, you're going to keep writing, you'll keep writing. Even though if you know what the chapters are, it's going to be hard for you to finalize it, to bring it to an end. But if you start with the ending, you can work backwards because you know how it's going to end. And so now you can work towards the beginning. But if you just start like, okay, this is once upon a time, and then you just keep going, blah, 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 where's it going to end? And then what is the message, or what are the messages that you want to convey in what you're writing, whether it's a script, whether it's a book, what are the storylines? Because that will help you develop your chapters as well, because it's going to tell you how to also give you an outline on how to develop your chapters if you know what some of the messages are. But I always start with the end. I know how I want this to end, because if you know the end, then you can get to the beginning, because you know how it started.
So here's my problem. So I've written books. I've written a book. I had no problem writing that because I can write it the way I speak. I'm writing about what I've experienced, what I know. So that was no problem. I finished that book in 28 days.
Awesome.
Writing a play or a movie, I have the beginning, I have the end, I have the messages, and I got the characters. My problem is how to write the story out. What's the script? What's the conversation? So my idea was, that's crazy. But
like the dialogue, like the words,
Right, like maybe I need to go, with some other people and do some role playing and just see how this conversation could go and write it based off of that. Because it's just that. It's like, how do I start the dialogue? How do I start that where it's a consistent story? You know what I'm saying? That's the problem that I'm having with that so far.
For me, I visualize. I'm with you. For me, I visualize. So if you already got your characters and you know what the messages are, you said you know what to be, how you want it to begin, then think of the situation. Think of one situation in, say, part one, in chapter one, or in the script, in the first act or whatever. Think of one particular situation, like you know that's going to happen. And then what people are in that situation. and then you can start the dialogue from there. Are they at a home? Are they outside? What are they doing? And then because it's going to be realistic to you. Think of a realistic situation. Like, okay, this if it's based on a true story, even if it's not, figure out what situations in Act 1 that's going to happen, and then who are those characters, and then you'll start that dialogue. And it may start off like, okay, I can see these two saying this. And you start from there, and then you're going back and forth as if you're sitting there listening to these four or these three people, however many characters it is, having this conversation, and then you write from there.
Right.
So it has to be realistic to you. So if the
definitely is definitely got to be realistic because of the message.
And then you keep going into you tie your message into that, and you'll never be without content because there's always things to say or to implement in there. But I would say
I know for me that's when
writing out some dialogue.
For me, when I sit down at the computer, that's when the dialogue can come. I have to have the middle, the beginning, the middle, the end. Like Angel said, I got to know how it's going to end. But however I want it to begin, however, if I want to start, let's say I'm talking about life in Atlanta. So, and I know I got to bring this character in. I got to say, how do I want her entrance? How do I want her to enter into this? Do I want to start off by describing her or describing her drive home from her job and to the house and the things she saw while she was driving? And then I want to, when she walks in the house, I want her to speak to her mother. What would I say? What would she say to her mother? Hey, Mom, how you doing? Oh, I'm not doing anything. So you're talking like you would really be like people would really be doing. Like you are the voice. So you type how they would really talk.
Right.
Okay.
That's
all right.
For me,
we're gonna see how this
comes in handy.
Right.
For me, you know what I found though? Kim, I honestly found when I sit down at the computer and I start typing, the story starts to just form. The thoughts just come to your fingers. It's like almost a magical thing, and it just starts coming out. Once you sit down at the computer and you start with, Janet ran to the store. For some reason, I think the creative mind just starts doing, and you just start typing what comes to your head. Just start typing. Don't worry about, the periods and the commas just start typing whatever the thought pattern that you visualize as you start typing. Just put that on the paper, and then you go back later after you've done all that and fix stuff up. But
that's the outline.
Your brain is going to automatically start visualizing what you're talking about.
Yeah, you got to start the dialogue, and even if you have to go back and change it, at least you get your flow going. Then I tell people also find something on TV that mimics almost what you're writing about. Doesn't have to be the same thing, but if it's a comedy that you're writing, then find something on TV and watch a few episodes, because that will give you ideas like, oh, okay, I can do this. Oh, okay, I see what they're doing. Because I have like a writing team for my for the web series that I'm developing. So in my coaching, that's what I tell them. Okay, this is where I'm going. But if you're not sure, then watch the show, because it's gonna give you some insight on what's going on. Emotions, what the character's doing, things of that nature. Because when you're writing and Patricia can speak to this more probably than I can because she's done a movie before, but you have to be more descriptive in your script because you got so many people involved. Your camera crew, they need to know what kind of shot to take, what this character is doing, where they should be at this particular moment. So it's a lot more descriptive that you have to be in writing for me, than writing the play script. Because now I'm writing a TV series, so I got a lot more involved. So I study. I watch a lot of things on TV that kind of mimic what I'm doing, so I can get ideas and kind of know what's going on or what I should be doing.
And also remember that when you're doing a play or anything visual, you're showing more than you're telling. In the book, you got to tell everything because you have to get that person to visualize your words. But in visual and plays and movies, you're showing. So you're not going to have as much dialogue as you would in a book because you're showing stuff. You're showing the action. You're showing the emotion.
The subtle nuances is what that character has. That just shows that out. Yeah, that's real life right there. Yeah, I get that. I can't act for nothing, man. I wish I could. But they say everybody can though. But it's like trying to learn how to do that. It's a big deal. So when we were talking about your plays, Angela, was like, my thing is, because that's a live thing. That's not being videotaped. You know what I mean? So you got to really be on point. Compared to doing like a web series, so it's like the training on that it's got to be a big deal.
Yeah, I think in all honesty, people on plays, you said it's live and it's not much room for error. And if it is error, the actor has to be able to fix it where the audience don't know, because the audience really don't know the script; they don't know. But the actor still can make or break it, because if they let it know that I made a mistake, like, oh man, and they're stumbling, then the audience knows. But if I'm off script and I just keep going like that's what's supposed to be and I'm convincing, they won't have a clue.
Right, improv, right? You have to improv on certain things. That's how I Saturday Night Live is. Like,
improv, exactly.
Yeah.
That's how to improvise. Yep. Whereas if I'm filming, I can stop, like, no, cut, do it over, because now once I can get it perfected. But on the stage, you almost got to come out the gate, perfect or near it, or cover it up really well.
Kim, I would advise
you
you
know
to
what?
maybe
I think we got another. I'm sorry, real quick, ladies. I had to introduce someone else that just got on the line as well. We had another special guest that just kind of chimed in with us, and we had Dr. Storm right here on the line with us as well. So you're listening in.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's going on?
Hey. Hey, thanks for letting Dr. Storm chime in.
Oh, come on. I should have known the sexy voice. What's going on, Dr. Storm?
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, see, now you know it is.
Yes, baby.
Dr. A.O.B. Storm is calling us up here. Yeah.
Rocking the house.
Did you have a question that you wanted to ask? Did you have a question you wanted to ask the playwright Angela E. Stevenson, Dr. Storm?
Actually, she was just touching on something that is near and dear to me, and that's being able to push through that moment where the audience doesn't necessarily know that you messed up. You just keep going.
Right.
So yeah, I'm listening. I'm here. I'm learning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kim, what I was saying was you might want to try out for Angela's web series, because if you're in that atmosphere, if she chooses you, of course, you got to go up there and do your thing. But if she chooses you, that'll put you in that atmosphere, and you'll be able to see behind the scenes what's going on, and that'll help you with trying to write your play, because you'll be able to see hands on, or even if not just her play, just any play. Start going and auditioning for these different plays. Get a little tiny role, and then you'll get an understanding of how things flow.
Right. Oh, yeah, I definitely plan to audition for Ms. Angela.
I'm looking out for you.
Definitely.
You know what? Because you made a statement. You just said something that's very significant. For even though we do this, we do plays and stuff, I still go to other plays when I can, because I'm always trying to hone my craft, because I want to be better at what I do, and I'm always learning. So I go and see what other people are doing, not to copy what they're doing, but I'm learning. Okay, this shit, I didn't know you could do that. Oh, I didn't even think about that. So maybe I'll try to implement something different, moving forward. So it's just, so your stuff is fresh for me, because, if you get caught up in, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to have a writing lab, because I could write the whole series myself, definitely. But if I bring in other people, they think differently than me, so they can give me some ideas and be like, oh, you ever thought about this? Or I see a different. So it keeps your writing, it keeps your your product, you're fresh and new. Be like, okay, and because like Tyler Perry, I guess I can say this. He says he doesn't have a writing lab.
I was about to bring that up. I was about to talk about
most people, if they didn't know Tyler Perry, if they saw his stuff, they would know that it came from the same person. It was kind of written by the same person because his style, he has this style about himself, and you just kind of know that's Tyler Perry's stuff. Or you can listen to different artists that you know, like Kirk Franklin is one of my favorite artists to listen to, but if I took Kirk Franklin's name off of it and I just listened to his music, I would be able to say that came from the same person because he has a certain style about him from his writing, his music. So the same thing with me writing movies and scripts and plays and things like that. It's important to me that I bring in new thoughts and ideas to try to keep it fresh and change it up. It's still going to have the AES brand signature on it, but somebody they'll look at it and be like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Oh, I didn't think she would do that, But I probably wouldn't have if I didn't have somebody else pushing me to do it, Because even with this series, my mentor is pushing me out of the box. Like, you got to think beyond the people that you know, because me thinking like, okay, what are they going to think if I do this or whatever? You're going to have this in front of thousands, possibly millions of people, so you can't think just within the box or the frame of people that you know. You got to think beyond that, so that helped me, to be able to, even write what I'm writing right now. So, yeah.
Okay. So how did you feel when you found out that Tyler Perry wasn't using what do they call it, a writer's room? Like what how did you I personally was just like, why doesn't he introduce or give other writers, new writers, the ability to come in and assist him so he could have that extra flavor that's different from what he's usually writing? You know what I'm saying?
How did I feel about it?
I
was a little bit pissed. Like, Tyler, what's up with you?
That's probably like a business
like, why he's not giving writers the unknown,
it's
all
like
the
like
talent that's in Atlanta? Why not give
a lot of people around him? And he is though. He is doing that. If guys are looking into it, he is doing that. He is doing for things for movies. Like there's a lot of things that Tyler Perry is doing right now for the city of Atlanta, actually for Georgia. That's unbelievable. For the things I just read about what he's been doing, and a lot of people, like ordinary young actors or older actors, whatever, all different types of people. He are bringing them in, and writers too. Like they're there. They going down to that studio, and they're preparing something that's going to be mega for Atlanta, like Hollywood. And you guys, hopefully,
this is a recent change. Then this is something that's come out since everybody was talking all that smack.
Tyler Perry Studios, yes, Tyler Perry Studios. If you looking up, you're doing the research on that. That man is looking for everything, anything. He has a whole mega spot over there.
Okay, well then he's listening. That means he's listening.
Yeah.
That means he's
he is. He's coming. Yeah, Okay. I was thinking that same thing.
I think he.
So Angela,
well, I don't know. I'm gonna be quiet on that. I'm gonna be silent.
Okay.
So,
well,
I appreciate. Let me say this, because I don't want to leave that on the neck. I don't want to leave a negative thought in anyone's head. I love Tyler Perry. He's done some great and wonderful things in the industry. I applaud him for his success because he started with nothing. You know, his story, how he put everything into it and launched it, and then he had to build his way. So I applaud him. But on the side where he mentioned that he did not have, he was writing all. Well, that's creative within itself that you're writing all this stuff. That's just like to be applauded as well. But I feel like if he wants to grow just in the arena of what he's doing, that he may want to consider bringing in some other writers. Now, I know he has this big studio out there, and I would love to work with him one day, but is he going to produce other people's work? That's what I'm really more.
I think that would take him.
Other people's work.
I think that would take him to another level. I think that if he started, we know Tyler Perry's talented. There's no doubt. And his story is amazing, and it has inspired many of us, many writers. But I think that what will take him to the next level is when he starts producing the work of all the talented people that are in Atlanta and around the world. That will take him to a different level. And he still can have his name on it. He still can have his company on there, like, boom, put out by Tyler Perry, and help other people get on, help other people get to a level or
that
of what they,
we don't know that he's working on, that someone just mentioned that we are not aware of, that he may be working on putting something together.
I hope he is. I hope he is.
Yeah, he really is.
Like,
he really is. Like the things that I watched this man do throughout the years, that I felt like that's what he was doing. Like, he was trying to make his way. And I wasn't a big fan, to be honest about it. I'm not going to be like, it was more like a type of situation where he started to say, well, this is what I can do. This is what I have the ability to do. And he brought it to you. He brought it to you. He could have stayed out there in Hollywood and built a whole huge, studio and things like that nature. He brought it out there. I can remember doing some things with the company that he was working with Lionsgate. And he was actually helping us try to push this thing together. When it didn't all the way go through because they had too much control of what was going on. Now he's giving these directors, writers, all this stuff, so then that they have the anonymity to do that, like the ability and the anonymity. Like, look, we're not going to block your train of thought or something like that to make it so they can be happy. He's like, no, let's make it so that your creative juices are for that. And these things are coming up for these years that's coming, because there's a lot of them. You're going to see a lot of people that's in his films and in his in his plays, the writers or the actors, they're going to be doing their thing, for TV shows and films, and it's coming up. There's a lot of good things coming with that. So I would, check it out, and if you the way you may feel about certain things about what he had to come up to go through, we know that, like Oprah is one of his biggest fans. You know what I mean? And we. From back in the day, like when he was doing the books and stuff like that, it was like we knew that this guy was going to be on his come up, but we just didn't understand everything what he was doing. But now that he's made this new, medium, it's just I would definitely like participate or at least look into it, because it's right there in Atlanta. It's not in Hollywood. It's not Hollywood, California. It's not. Go ahead.
I would welcome the opportunity to work with them, or a lot of people. Now, here's my thing on that: is that people automatically, they see that there's two names that usually come up for me. It's Tyler Perry and Oprah. Have you tried to reach out to Oprah? Have you tried to reach out to Tyler? And I'm sure he gets a lot of calls or email scripts or whatever, with people just trying to get in. They're trying to come up off of his work. So I've never tried to reach out to Tyler. I've never tried to reach out to Oprah, because I believe that what's for me, first of all, is for me. God will open up that door, or the universe will present that opportunity, as some people like to say. If it's for me to work with Tyler, then it will happen. Now, if he puts something out there saying he's looking for new content, then I definitely will submit my script, and hopefully one would get picked up. So I wouldn't do that. But to be just knocking down his door, like some girl paid for a big billboard and was begging Tyler to hire her as an actor, I'm not doing that. But
that was extra right there.
So I'm not saying to try to, he's worked hard for what he's got. God has blessed him above and beyond. But I firmly believe that when God, too much is given, much is required, and that you're blessed sometimes not just for yourself, but so that you can be a blessing to other people. So I'm not saying anything about he's phenomenal, and I've loved his plays. I've supported him, everything. But I feel like when you get to a certain level, you should open up a lane where people ain't got to be begging and putting up billboards and stuff. They got to go, hey, there's a lane for y'all. For all of you who want you want your films done, there's a lane. Submit your new stuff here, and we'll choose the best ones, and we'll back it, and we'll put it out there. I'm talking about open up a lane, be a blessing to other people. You've reached a certain high. Like, now it's time to open up a lane for other people. That's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking anything. His hard work is, and I'm not saying knock his door down, nothing like that. You shouldn't have to. I'm saying it's time to open up a lane for other people, be a blessing to other people, like somebody was a blessing to you, because someone believed in him enough to say, you know what, you got talent. I'm going to go ahead and back you. I'm going to help you get here. So now you've gotten there. Now it's your turn to turn around and do that for somebody else. Do that for another writer. Do that for another playwright. That's what I'm talking about.
That's coming. That's coming right there, babe. That's coming, baby.
I know that.
Watch out for that. I felt that passion. I was like, oh, look at my baby go. I was like, yeah, go ahead. I love that right there. No doubt about it, man. I want to make sure that everybody can know who we're on the air with as well, because since we're here talking, we have Angela E. Stevenson, and also we have, I know it was Queen. I didn't get the whole thing on there, but
Queen Goddess, the King Advocate.
Queen Goddess,
the King
Advocate. Okay, we really got to talk about that a little bit. Also, we got Dr. Avery Storm with us.
She got love.
You will never forget. Yes.
Right. No doubt. Okay, so also that we all you guys let us know about plug your things that you got going on, so we can let the people know that where they can pick you up or where they can get the films, the books, everything like that. Starting with you, Angela.
So for me, my book Misery, Mess, and Miracles is on Amazon. Just type in Misery, Mess, and Miracles. You'll see it by Angela E. Stevenson. Of course, I am on Facebook, Angela E. Stevenson. My name on Instagram. Also Angela E. Stevenson at Angela E. Stevenson. And then my email address for production, if you are wanting to submit your resume or have questions or want to hire me as a writer for you,
audition,
write a script, because I do that, or for auditions, is AES Productions 1, just the number 1, at gmail.com. AES Productions with the S, number 1 at gmail.com.
All right. Also, we got Queen Advocate, Queen Goddess Advocate. That name right there.
Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. That's the important part right there, yo. The King Advocate.
I thought that was what you said. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Queen Goddess. Listen, baby. Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. She's a queen that's advocating for the king.
I get that. I just received that.
Yes.
All right.
Wow. Love it.
Well, you're gonna be on the show coming up this Thursday, so you guys are on the air. But so let them know how they can get in touch with you. Or you get your social media, or you work on a website. Let them know how they can get
this. And she has a book out too.
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. So as far as the book is concerned, it's called The Business of Marriage, F Your Feelings, The Truth About Every Relationship. That is on Amazon Kindle right now. The paperbacks have sold out. I have not reprinted those just yet because I'm working on part 2, but that can be purchased on Amazon Kindle. That book is the bomb. It has saved a lot of marriages thus far, and that's my whole purpose for that. I am on YouTube as far as Queen Goddess, the King Advocate is concerned. I go live every Monday at 9 o'clock, Melanated Monday. You want to check that out. But Queen Goddess, the King Advocate on YouTube. You want to look for the icon with the queen with the sword. That's me.
Whoa.
Yes, sir. And
I like that.
just to find me,
I got a question. Yeah, go ahead.
Kimberly McCants. No, we find us. Just find me as just regular me, Kimberly McCants on Facebook.
I'm sorry. Say it one more time because I interrupted you.
I said on Facebook, just me as my regular me is Kimberly McCants on Facebook.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, where was you from? Where was you from? Like, where are you from?
Ohio, up north, Cleveland,
Ohio.
Hey,
Ohio.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Love that. You're gonna be out there real soon. We're gonna turn it out. We're gonna turn it up. I like the energy. We also got Dr. A. Marie Storm too is with us as well. So just let us know
what podcast coming out too.
Yes, the Eye of the Storm. Watch out for it. It's coming. We're in production for that right now. And we're going to be on blog, radio. We're going to be on YouTube, all of that. But in the meantime, you can catch me on IG at A. Marie Storm, Storm with 2 M's. That's TORMM. Same thing on Facebook. Yeah.
You know, Dr. Storm,
she's so sexy. She's so laid back and sexy, yo.
Dr. Storm, I listened to that show. What was that show that you did with the girls, the chicks?
The Hot Girl Podcast. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at first I thought it was a bunch of cheerleaders. I didn't know what was about to happen. But then when I listened to the show, it was really, really good. And you know what? You got those women to really come forth with their feelings, with their emotions. You know, we were talking about mental health, and you really got them to just talk. Like, you have that gift. I understand now why